Today we're looking at a new game from New-Gen Systems, Act of Aggression, a sequel to the 2005 game Act of War. Set in the near future, Act of Aggression is an explosive techno-thriller real-time strategy game hailing from the golden era of RTS with 3 global superpowers. There can be only one. Victory! Released on the 2nd of September, at the moment it's available for a 15% discount, taking the price down to £29.74 until the 9th of September, where it will return to its full retail of £34.99. The game has multi-language subtitles in English, French, Italian, German and Spanish, but unfortunately only English audio. It's got 86 Steam achievements and nothing else really shining out at the moment. Let's see what it can do. Okay, into the front end. We've got our main missions here, we've got the Chimera and the Cartel campaigns. Got the skirmish option, which will be very welcome, adds a lot of longevity to a title. And then looking a little bit further on, we've got the multiplayer login there. Haven't logged in this session. And this is very nice. Look at all these statistics here. I'm sure that seasoned RTS players will really appreciate that. Nice to see. Well done, Eugen. And into the main options. Lots of gameplay options there. Usual stuff you kind of expect. This I like. Look at all those keys you combine there to the controls. Very nice. And audio, nothing unexpected, but dynamic range compression is a very welcome addition. Don't always see that one. And this is the most impressive aspect for me. Look at all these video options. Now, when you first load the game, it will automatically try and calibrate those options for you. Did a very good job on me. I got some great looking fidelity, no issues. Here's a look at the first cutscene. This one's from Mission 1 of the Chimera campaign.
The U.S. ultimatum comes to an end tonight, yet Separatist leader Raul Escobedo still shows no sign of compliance with it. The Mexican army, under-equipped and already trounced once by the Separatists, is in no shape to bring the secession of the República de Nueva California to an end. All indications are that it will be up to the U.S. task force gathered on the border to put an end to what Washington refers to as a rogue state in northern Mexico. U.S. forces under the command of General James Whittle, the hero of Isfahan, are building up in the...
The presentation is very much in the traditional Command and Conquer and Ghost Recon styles. It gets the job done, looking a little bit dated these days, but it is familiar and it is kinda cool and retro. I would have to say I quite like it. Okay, let's have a look at the game proper. So I've skipped forward a few levels. I think this is level number 5 in the Chimera campaign. And this particular level is all about occupying these nodes in the network and capturing various points. As you capture these points, it releases various vehicles and upgrades for your own use, which is it's quite nice really the way it works. Good introduction to the new units. So I've got the building occupied there, that's capturing the node. That leaves me 2 troops, which are the Exo soldiers, and I'm going to put those in this building here on the left and just wait for some kind of counter-attack, which pretty inevitable in this kind of situation during the campaigns. Here they come. Yeah, I think my guys are going to take care of those, no problem at all, shouldn't sustain any injuries. Oh, we've got the big guns coming now. As well as capturing any injured enemies, you can actually take them out if you so wish, as demonstrated here. I've got the 2 guys, just taken one out, and then we've got a couple more which we're going to capture. As I capture these, actually get gold for them, which I can use however I see fit, really. It's just another the assets which I can use. Big counter attack here, we've got vehicles, multi-side attack. Okay, so we can actually remove our troops from that building once it's safe and move towards the next node. Still a bit of the counter attack happening at the moment. There we go, all quiet, time to move forward. Music there, it's kind of a upbeat electronica. At first it seems a bit odd, doesn't really fit, but once you're actually in there playing, it does a good job, really helps. Although this is the traditional kind of RTS with the harvesting resources, base building, creating defences, constructing units to outwit and defeat your opponent, it does feel fresh. It doesn't feel like a rehash. The campaigns are constructed fairly well, I would say. They do hold your hand a little bit early on, as you would expect, but it opens up more and more of the game elements to you. For example, first missions concentrating on troop control, then we move on to unit building and occupying other buildings, multi-objective missions, escort missions, etc, etc, until eventually, once you've completed the campaigns, you know, you pretty much experienced it all and you're ready for a good multiplayer or against AI skirmish, whichever you prefer. So let's have a quick think about the pros and cons then. So the pros for me, great graphics, I would say. It does feel like a 2015 game. It's got interesting and different gameplay mechanics. It's not stale, it's not the same old formulas. It's not a Company of Heroes clone, it's not a Command & Conquer clone. It's a good hybrid with some new ideas. I like that, feels fresh. The factions are truly different from each other, which again you don't always get with RTS. Very often they feel like a reskin. In this game they do feel truly different. The artificial intelligence as well, it is pretty good. It does offer you a good challenge. And the extensive options, something you don't always see, very welcome. Like to see that. Lots of control over the graphics fidelity. Lots of control over the input options and the remaps, etc. The cons that spring to mind, let's have a think about the cons. The only way to play co-op, as far as I can tell, is in a skirmish mode. You can't actually play any of the campaigns, or there aren't any missions specifically for co-op. That's a little disappointing. The camera zoom as well. Maybe I've been spoiled by Supreme Commander and the like, but being able to zoom right back and see the full map at once, that's really nice. This game doesn't offer that. You can zoom back a little, but not as much as I would expect. Another con, the campaign, it does restrict unit making. This makes it pretty tough in places, to be honest. A little more difficult than if you were to find yourself in that situation in a skirmish or multiplayer kind of setting. But that's what it's there for. The campaign's there to teach you, really, and show you the different aspects of the game. So, what's the final verdict? What does the PC Baker think of it? I like it. I like it a lot. It does have some shortcomings. They're not shortcomings that would stop me playing the game or put me off in any kind of way. I'm going to give it 9 buns out of 10. It balances the familiar and the fresh. And I would say if you like RTS games at all, buy it. Highly recommended. 9 from me.
Ready to strike. What do you want me to do? They're blown to pieces. Pull ahead, boys. I'll be there in no time. Gun time matters. Let me give them a taste of my gun.
Here it is. His convoy is just passing by.
Linda? Linda, what's happening? Can you hear me?